What is the cost of your vision?
Effort, resilience, motivation, grit, happiness, time, meaning, fulfillment, dreams, beliefs, manifestation, positivity, conscious ignorance. Let's just throw that in there. All of these are valuable traits and states of mind or tools that we can use in our journey to financial freedom. But we just came out of a wonderful exercise of this amazing potential of where we want to be. You're certain of what's important to you, you're clear on your path, and you've made it yours. But have you ever worked out the cost of all of this? We started off this masterclass with the definition of financial freedom: to have enough money to live on your own terms without the worry or burden of debt. You know, I've asked this question to hundreds of people that come to build their financial plan. What does it cost to be completely financially free? How much do you need to be completely financially secure, independent, and free, where you don't need to work? And I'm met with a long pause. They say, what do you mean? Or, I haven't thought about it. A 23-year-old entrepreneur said to me the other day, my cost will be $500 million US. So I want you to just think about this. What I told him was $500 million US. Do you have any idea what that can buy you? And he said, financial freedom. You can buy whatever you want. And so I took it back down and ran through the exercise with him that we are going to go through right now. And long story short, he realized that he needed a lot less than $500 million. I think he needed 0.1% to be financially free based on the life that he wanted to live. And my point here is sometimes if we don't know what we are working towards, that mountain, when we're looking from the bottom all the way to the top of what we want to achieve, our goals, our dreams seem too big for us to take seriously. And if you actually spend time and work it out, you'll realize that they actually are within reach. And you can be financially secure, independent, and financially free sooner than you believe. So let's make it real and move on forward. So I want to ask you now, you've pictured it, you've created your vision board, you've come this far, what is that number for you? It doesn't have to be accurate, but write it down. This is important. When it comes to understanding how much money everything we dreamed of and believe we can achieve costs, it's really hard for people to grasp. Remember that 23-year-old I mentioned earlier who wanted $500 million US and thought that was his financial freedom number? He was an entrepreneur who had a business that was making some interesting money, but he hadn't really thought about what $500 million US is. What type of amount of money is that? So break it down in time. You know, I read somewhere that if you think about 1 million seconds, how long is that in days? The answer is 12 days. But if you think about 1 billion seconds, how long do you think that is in days? Think about it. The answer is 32 years. So in comparison, in relation from 12 days to 32 years is the difference, if you imagine money of 1 million rand or 1 million of any currency to 500 million, which is $500 million. It's the equivalent of putting work in for 12 days and comparing or hoping that your outcome is the work of 32 years. But if you can't get that, if you can't conceptualize how much it will actually cost when it comes to your goals, how are you supposed to get there? So it's quite simple. We're going to work through it in the next exercise and work out the costs of your financial freedom.